All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very, very important vocabulary words today. Like you will use these 5 vocabulary words a lot over the course of this semester. Okay. So before we even sit down and define them, I want you to have a conversation at your tables to see which one of these you think you know and what they mean. Okay. I think that there should be at least 2 of those words that you should be able to sort of figure out, if not 3. Let's see if maybe you have all 5 of them figured out. See what you can remember. Okay. What do they mean?
Supplementary equals 1/8 the sum equals 1/8 and the complementary equals 9.
So you have a sticker on your back. Do you want it there?
No.
Okay. Who can tell me what complementary means? Clark.
Normally means they complement each other.
Okay. In terms of angles, what is true about their measures, Benjamin?
That's angle is a complement to. That's a complement between angle notes.
So Benjamin, you could have at least like disguised that with your own words. Okay. So I'm gonna write angles that add to 90 degrees. Is that a good way to put it? Angles that add up to be 90 degrees. Okay. Brayden, what about supplementary? Whose room is adjacent to mine?
Miss Brew.
Miss Rue. Why is Miss Rue's room adjacent to mine?
Because they're right next to each other.
What do you say, Brayden? Okay. We share a wall. Yeah, Harvey, man, we got it out at the same time. Okay. We are next to each other. More specifically, we're next to each other. We share a wall. Okay. So angles that are adjacent.
Share the same angle. That share the same size.
Okay. They have the same vertex, yes, and they share a side. Okay, which has the vertex on it. Okay. So angles that share a side. So let's draw. In this picture that I drew, angles 1 and 2 are adjacent because they share side BC. without reading from your student journal, can anybody tell me what a linear pair is? I'll tell you the definition involves two of the words already up there. So linear pair, what word is in that? Line. A pair of angles that make a line, okay? Well, how many degrees is a line? 180. So a pair,
Two lines that add to 180. Two lines that are 100. Wait,
That's
two adjacent lines that are
supplementary.
180.
two adjacent angles that are 180. So a linear pair means we have adjacent angles that are supplementary. In this green picture, angles 1 and 2 are a linear pair. They're adjacent and supplementary. I know they're supplementary because we have a straight line. We have a straight angle in there. Now, vertical angles might be the one that you really don't know. Or maybe somebody does know. Braden, is that like, ooh, I might know? No?
Linear pair, normally if you know what angle 1 is, you can figure out what angle 2 is because the line is 180.
Right, yep, and we're gonna use that fact. Now, vertical angles. Are they what? Nothing? Okay, they're nothing. Okay, angles, so two angles. Whose sides are opposite rays. Okay, so in pink, I want you to write that down and draw that picture. All right, so with angles whose sides are opposite rays, they're also across from each other. So I'm gonna highlight angle 1 and angle 3. Those two angles are vertical. Okay, also notice how they make V, right? V for vertical. 2 and 4 are vertical from each other. Do you have an observation that you would like to make about angles 1 and 3? What's that called? Except for the C. They are always congruent, okay? So this is something that, it's in the definition, we can assume. If we have vertical angles, we can say, all right, angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because they are vertical angles, okay? We can say angle 2 is congruent to angle 4 because they are vertical angles, okay? That's something that's gonna be really helpful when we're finding missing measures or eventually proving something to be true. Are you hiccuping? No, is it you hiccuping? Are you okay? Okay, let me know if you need a drink, okay? All right, so let's come back to our complementary and supplementary, okay? There are two different ways you could be given information, all right? Complementary angles do not have to be adjacent, but if they are adjacent, then they may have this box right here saying, hey, these two form a right angle. Yeah, but these are for my advisory students who I don't have anymore. And I won't have until Thursday. So remember, this box right here means right angle. So in this picture, I know that 1 and 2 are complementary because this is saying they add up to 90 degrees. Okay, here we know these two are complementary because 70 plus 20 is 90. Okay, so I want you to draw this picture right here where it says notes. Does it say that they are congruent? Is there any marking that says they're congruent? It does not. Nope. I would have to have those swoops in there. So now, Clark, if they were congruent, what would their measures be? Okay, but that's not what's happening. I am going to say, okay, if the measure of angle 1 is 62 degrees, then Braden, what would we know about the measure of angle 2? He says that very hesitantly. He'd be 28 degrees. Okay. Okay, how did you get 28? Okay, he took 90 minus 62 to get 28. Okay. All right, over here. I want you to draw this picture. These angles that we're drawing in blue, what's the best way to describe them as? One of your words from up above.
Supplementary.
They are supplementary, but there's a different vocabulary word that can be more specific. So put those together.
Oh, yeah.
They're a linear pair. They're adjacent and they're supplementary, so we call them a linear pair. Now, because they are a linear pair, we can take the measures of both angles and add them together. And we know that that should equal 180 degrees. So in this case, we don't have just like a measure. We have a measure in terms of an algebraic expression. So we are going to have to write an equation, okay? So this gives us, oh, well, this is nice. 18x equals 180. Right?
That's
So x equals 10. Okay. Now, I want you to go ahead, when you're finished with x equals 10, I want you to go ahead and turn the page and I want to look at these two pictures, for adjacent angles. They're at the top of page 30. Okay. I want you to notice the difference between our picture for angles 5 and 6 and our picture for angles 7 and 8. Okay. When we have adjacent angles, like I think it was Braden that said they need to share a vertex, which is true. I don't know, Ben or Braden, one of you. And they also need to share a side. Okay. They are next to each other like me and Miss Rue. Okay. Now, here's a picture of a linear pair. They're adjacent and it forms a line, linear pair, okay? And then here we have a nice, beautiful picture of our vertical angles. Now, down below, I'm gonna have you draw this picture with me. Okay, I am gonna give you and your elbow partner 30 seconds to come up with as many true statements about any pairs of angles as possible. Ready, set, go.
Vertical angles. Oh, what I'm joking.
All right, I'm gonna give you another 30 seconds.
Three, no. Three is an obtuse angle.
Copycat.
Four is an acute angle.
Wait, can we say 1 and 2 is the same as 4?
Like added together. All right, let's come up with as many of these as possible. All right, Sam, give me one.
Three is an obtuse angle.
3 is obtuse. Okay, Presley, give me a different one.
1 and 2 is equal to 4.
Ooh, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is going to equal the measure of angle 4. Nice. I will let that be up to you. I am going to write them down. Nora, give me another one.
5 and 4 are linear pair.
Ooh, 5 and 4 are a linear pair. Alexa, give me something else.
Um, 1 and 2 is compared to
Okay, yep, that's kind of what we have right here. What's true about 1 and 2? What's true about 1 and 2? Okay, let's angle 1 is congruent. Brayden. Ah, they all add up to 360. That is very clever. I like that. What?
Never mind.
Okay, Harvey. Okay, good. Clark.
5 and 3 are vertical angles.
Okay. Angle 5 are and they're congruent, right? Because they're vertical. Benjamin?
5 is obtuse.
5 is obtuse. Okay. Great. Okay, we talked about 5 and 4 being a linear pair. What's another linear pair? 3 and 4. One does not create a linear pair with anybody, and neither does 2. Okay, because this is just a ray. It's not an actual line. Clark?
Are they the same angle because they have one length each, or
Yep.
is it because I'm not connected?
It's because this is indicating that these two are congruent. All right. I need a true or false for each of these 3 statements. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, okay? You don't have to write this down anywhere. I just want you to look up here and think about whether it's true or false and be able to defend it. True or false? BFD and CFD are adjacent. Is actually false. Okay. So maybe something that we need to highlight here. We have a common vertex and a common side, but maybe something we didn't talk about enough is that there are no common interior points. Okay. So like Rue and I's room, we don't have any overlapping, right? So adjacent angles, they can't overlap. So notice if I put this point right here, it would be in both angles, and that would be a common interior point, which cannot happen. So instead, if I wanted an adjacent angle, we would take this guy right here with this guy right here. You see the difference? Okay. That's why we're talking about this. Okay. AFB and EFD are vertical angles.
Is the supplementary with, FB.
Well, we need opposite rays. We would need this guy right here instead of FB,
Well, I was still.
okay? And then lastly, we have AFE and EFD are complementary. What are they? They would be supplementary. 3 falses, man, who would have thought? Lies, all of them. All right. Your homework, turn to the very back of your math packet